Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the Create Sim for Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen. So my last Create Sim was a little bit less structured. I figured out, I think, how I want to do this. So I actually listed out a whole bunch of facts and information and their personality and everything for both characters, and I think that's what we're going to go through for basically the premise of the video for most of these Create Sims. This is probably how it's going to go, which leaves me with very little time to probably explain their clothing, but I hope that a lot of it is really self-explanatory. It's basically based completely after whatever was shown in the movie, what we have available in the game, and sometimes that means I have to make certain adjustments or go with something completely different, but I hope that you guys enjoy them anyway. So we are starting with Princess Tiana, whose last name happens to be Rose as a part of my save file. Her aspiration is Master Chef. Her traits are foodie, music lover, and she is ambitious, of course. Her spouse is Prince Naveen Rose of Maldonia, and they are newly married in my save file. So Tiana's personality is, of course, she's a very fiery, hardworking, passionate type of person. She is absolutely a Capricorn through and through, so shout out to my girl because I am also a Capricorn. She works hard for absolutely everything she wants, and she will never ever give up despite any troubles that she faces. She will always find a way to get done what she needs or wants. She is the proud owner of Tiana's Palace, which is a beautiful high-end restaurant that serves true, pure Louisiana cuisine, and I did build that in a separate speed build just in case this happens to be your first video. Check that out in the rest of the playlist. She absolutely loves her family, and she also loves nature. So as far as clubs go, she is one of the honorary members of the official Disney Princess Club. They work as sort of like a town board for the different neighborhoods, having say in major decisions made to any of the worlds. They plan events for the different towns. They keep like a general order. They're not really the government, but they have like a lot of influence in that. And they also work as an open line of communication between different princesses to discuss private royal affairs and different issues that they may be experiencing within their kingdom. So it's kind of like a club for the princesses to have an outlet and work through similar problems together, but also oversee and sort of manage the towns and make sure that everything is going okay. There's a lot of rules to get into this club, so it's considered a really big honor to be a part of it, and that in turn means that it does bring a little bit of fame along with it, so she does have a slight fame level. Her job is a part-time at Duke's Cafe. From time to time, she will go and lend a hand at her former job. She didn't actually quit when she opened her restaurant. She still will throw in a shift over there every once in a while. Her current residence is Tiana's mansion, of course, which was my previous speed build. If you would like to see it, that will of course be linked down below in the Disney playlist as well. And she is the owner, again, of Tiana's Palace. So her side hobbies include trying out new recipes. Her house actually includes 2 kitchens, one in her bedroom. So she loves to experiment with new cuisine and new recipes that she can try at the restaurant. She loves to travel. She will go from time to time with Prince Naveen all the way to Maldonia and assist over there in royal affairs, especially because she is a part of like an official club here. So she will go over and assist there with her little experience that she has. She also enjoys collecting frogs for obvious reasons. Now I've added this other thing called hidden traits, which is something that will give Sims a little bit of an extra personality boost in my game. They might not be as apparent because they're things that could possibly not be like possible for me to fit into the game, but I'll just call them kind of like my headcanon, and hopefully at some point a lot of these could be added in the future so that you could make them a possibility, but for now they're more like hidden traits because they're not necessarily like anything that you'll see in game, but it's something that you could just know about the character and possibly like carry the storyline along with it if you wanted to play like a specific household. So Tiana's hidden traits is that she can actually speak to animals, and they love to hang around her house as her former connection with nature allows her to find great peace and purpose. She's also an animal rights activist and works hard to do all she can to protect the Louisiana bayous from Disturbance. She does have a slight fame level, and I think that actually makes most of what I want to say for Tiana. For her base sim, I actually started with my custom content version of her, which meant that, of course, we're missing a lot of the stuff that would have made her resemble her character a little bit more. Really beautiful skin and some eyelashes and a different slightly eye color, some different hairs as well. Hair was a big one for Tiana. Unfortunately, we have like one bun hair in game, and I own all the packs, so this was kind of a crazy thing. And it's more of a, I think it's an early on hair or a base game hair, so it's really old looking and it's not my favorite. I am hoping at some point we get a different bun hair and I can update her and maybe change a little bit of her outfits, because some of her big outfits, like her beautiful green and yellow dress, we really only had one that even came close to resembling it, and that still wasn't like that ball gown shape that you would have liked. I've explained before that we really don't have like princess ball gowns in the game. There are one or two, and I'm going to use them where they're more appropriate. And I felt like here that wasn't necessarily the case. So I did go with the dress, but obviously it's not my favorite. I actually like her casual outfits a whole lot more. One is based after Duke's, one is based after the end of the movie, and then I've added a couple of extra outfits for her as far as like the scene in the movie where she is getting shown what her restaurant would like from the Magic Man. I added that like 20s inspired dress with her hair in the really beautiful bob. In that, she has like a beautiful like feather boa, but again, more accessory pieces that I wouldn't be able to add without CC. And then her wedding dress or something similar was also included, and some dresses and outfits from various like spin-offs and games that she was a part of, hopefully still capturing her essence. She is very elegant, she is very like poised, and I feel like she would be more modest in a lot of her clothing choices. Also, the movie is based in the 20s, and I've said that many times before, but that does influence a little bit of her fashion choices, especially shoes. I tried not to do anything like too modern for like strappy heels and things like that. It would be like your more casual shoes. Random athletic outfit, kind of random for the different weather outfits and the swimsuits, because obviously you just don't get to see too much of that kind of stuff, but I tried to carry in their personality just a little bit. I would say that as a general rule of thumb, probably your hot and cold temperature outfits are going to be a little bit more modern than the rest of the outfits are. That way, if you are going for a more modern look for a lot of these and you want to play them sort of as all in the same time period, which I think that's kind of what I'm doing with the save, but then again, their houses seem to be based after like what time period I'm actually building on, so it is going to be a little bit of a mix, but the option to have the more high-end outfits will usually be there in their casual looks, and then for like their hot and cold different looks, you will probably have a little bit more of a modern look. It does depend on who I'm creating, because obviously certain characters, if it takes place in like a certain type of season, for example Frozen, when we eventually do Elsa and stuff like that, their cold temperature outfits are obviously going to be very specific. And actually, to bring up Frozen, somebody mentioned in a previous video of mine that they were not wondering, but I guess wishing that we had gotten some kind of a winter world so that I could build a Frozen themed world and do some lots and stuff that always stay cold. And I cannot tell you how much I've been thinking about this. I'm so glad somebody brought it up, because I really, really want to take an entire world and dedicate it to Frozen and do like a bunch of ice builds and do some really, really cool stuff. But I'm not quite sure how I'm going to integrate it yet. I'm possibly thinking about making Glimmerbrook have that, but I'm not sure, because then you would always have to have Glimmerbrook on winter, and that's obviously not always going to be a possibility. So I'm kind of playing with that. I'm also hoping that The Sims adds in a different world that's like a vacation world that's always in wintertime. So just to bring that up so that you guys kind of know where my head is at with that. But to get back, we have Prince Naveen Rose of Maldonia. So his aspiration is that he's a party animal, and his traits are self-assured, dance machine, and still non-committal. Now, they are married, they are newlyweds, but I wanted to keep some of the original integrity of his character from the movie, so I decided to go with a lot of those traits. As far as his personality goes, he is a former bachelor party boy. Since they've been married, Naveen Naveen has calmed down from his old lifestyle quite a bit, but some of his former charm still remains. Naveen is a free spirit and needs constant change, travel, and excitement to feel satisfied in life. Now that he has Tiana, he finds joy in helping her at the restaurant, exploring the South with her, dancing, throwing elegant parties at their mansion. But on the weekends, Naveen loves to bar hop and see what the town has to offer. This sometimes puts a little bit of a strain on their relationship, as Tiana is usually home planning new events, working on conservation efforts, or meeting with the official princesses. They make it work, but it's never really easy, and Tiana's looking to settle down just a little bit more. I don't know, maybe some children? And Naveen isn't quite there yet. Sometimes he goes to Maldonia by himself just to get a change of scenery and a little bit of fresh air. As far as clubs, he's not a part of any clubs officially. Naveen doesn't really like to commit himself to anything like that. Jobs, he does assist at Tiana's palace. He will work there, sometimes throw in a shift as a waiter. He will assist with paperwork at home. And he also has partial income from his royal parents that was restored to him when he got married by his parents. He does currently live with Tiana at Tiana's mansion. He doesn't own any extra lots. His hobbies include playing guitar. He has a very high-level guitar skill. He likes to experiment with new fancy drinks that they will sometimes use at Tiana's palace. So he also has a pretty high-level mixology skill. He is a little bit of a food critic unofficially, and I feel like if he was to get an official job, he would probably really enjoy being a food critic. He loves to golf, travel, and he also loves dancing, has a pretty high-level dancing skill. His hidden trait is that Naveen is also very spiritually connected to nature, and he sometimes feels like he can hear the animals talking to him, which is a little bit of a weird thing for him, and Tiana is really trying to help him hone in on this more spiritual side of him and try to connect a little bit more with nature and possibly get him interested in conservation efforts as well. It's not exactly working right now. He is not sure that it's even really possible, and he's trying to figure out if he can even really hear the animals at all. But of course, Tiana swears that she can talk to them, so she's really trying to help him reconnect to something that helped them connect with each other in a former time. He also has a very, very high fame level. He is famous, obviously, for the fact that he is now married to the owner of Tiana's palace. He is a former prince of Maldonia, still current, and it causes a high fame level there as well as here. So he can pretty much go nowhere without getting recognized, without getting other people interested in him, which is a bit of a problem when you like to bar hop, when you love to socialize and go out all the time. And you can obviously see that the tensions that might arise. Obviously, still a very honest, faithful, loyal, very kind human being, means no harm, but sometimes doesn't make the best decisions regarding different aspects of his life. So as far as his clothing options go, he was so much harder to do than Tiana, just because a lot of his outfits from the movie are just not there. Fortunately, his casual outfit was very easy to match. He sort of wears this sweater with like a tucked in tie and a white shirt, and then one of those cute hats. I don't actually know what they're called. So that was pretty easy to match right off the bat. As far as what he looks like, I do feel like he resembles Naveen quite a bit. His hair is obviously a little bit different, but I did want to go with something a little bit more flowy. Again, a skin would have helped him so much, and I could totally see some really cool custom content, Prince clothes that would have been really fun to do for his formal outfit. Instead, I just tried to go with full body formal outfits that seemed almost a little bit more dressed than maybe you would for like an occasion. So for example, his party outfit is very, very high-end looking. So it might be overdressed, but I feel like that's exactly how a prince would present themselves. Like they wouldn't show up to a party in like a button-up shirt. They would have to have a couple of extra layers, maybe an expensive watch, a lot of really interesting accessories and like things like that to really polish off the look, a nice expensive belt, those types of things. So that is going to be Prince Naveen and Princess Tiana. I really, really hope that you enjoy both of them. Let me know what you think of them down in the comment section below. They are available for download on the gallery. Don't forget to check out the rest of the Disney playlist linked below and at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon below to turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time I post. And I will talk to you all in the next one.